Good afternoon, friends. Um, this is 13th of June 2020. Now, this is our weekend series of knowledge videos, and the idea of this video is trying to deal with three aspects which I believe are important. One is risk reward, and there's a reason I want to discuss this risk reward because there is so much emphasis of trying to predict what is the next move that people often don't understand trade construction and how it should be a low risk reward trade. So having said that, the second issue I would like to discuss is how to recognize when a machine starts to operate. See, these days, machines have taken over trading, and once the machine is on, it just basically keeps pounding an index or a stock, or it keeps taking them higher. It takes them higher till the end of the day. So while all of you are busy with support and resistance, the machines are taking over. It's a fact of life, and the more we run away from it, that would be running away from reality. And the third angle that I want to take on is the current situation of the Nifty and S&P 500, and what could be the various scenarios which could develop. There will be a separate trade plan video for you know uh, I think the next trading day is 15th of excuse me, June 2020. So the morning video will come, but this is more a weekend style video. Now let's start from the beginning, and what we want to do is that we want to get into uh, how the Nifty is looking like, and then I would like to tell you what I did yesterday, which is 12th of June 2020. Now, people would recall that yesterday we opened 300 points gap down. Okay. Now, the idea here was that if you look at the daily chart, we gap down into the 20-day moving average. That this red line is the 20-day moving average. And it was very simple that post the first 10 minutes, it was clear that the market was going up. So what we did was, now here, it's not important that I bought and I knew something, etc. I don't want to get into that. It was a very simple issue that you had come off 700 points from 10,300. So this was a low risk reward point from a swing trading perspective and even from a day trading perspective. So after these first 10 minutes, I bought the 10,000 July calls for 250. And as you can see, by end of the day, we went and we closed at 99.50. So basically, if you are on one end of the trading range, and if you buy a 300 400 point out of money call, that is assuming you have been in a downtrend for a while, that sets up a good risk reward trade. Similarly, at 10,300 thereabouts, buying a 9,900 put was worthwhile. Last time in May, I had suggested the 9,400 call when the market was like 9,000. So what we are basically trying to do is, if things don't work, we are going to lose 50 points. And if they start to work, your 200 to 250 rupee option becomes 600, 650. So that sets up a nice risk reward trade. So that is a way that should be applied in all instruments. Basically, what I like to do is I want the market to get pushed into one corner, and then I believe that I should take the other side of the trade. If you see, basically here on a daily chart, at this point at 10,300, this was where you had the 20 DMA, way overstretched. If you see out here, we were way overstretched at 9,000. Let me mark it with a rectangle. This was the downside extreme, and this is the upside extreme. Okay. Again, if you see, this is an upside extreme. Why? It is all relative to the 20. There is no set formula, but if you see, whenever it gets to an extreme, you will see the market snap back to the other side. So that is how you construct a high risk reward trade. You can't say at this point you are very overstretched, and hence location wise 9550 may not be the best location. Maybe if we come down to this you know broadly 80 uh, 380 400, you can call it that we are reaching the other extreme. But be that as it may, 9500 was still better than 10,200, 10,300. So the idea is that you figure out either you are overstretched below 20 or overstretched above 20, and then you take the other side. So this is how a big risk reward trade is constructed. So the next issue that we have to deal with is the machine trading. Now, what do I mean by machine trading? Machine trading is the market opening in on one side and closing towards the other side. Like this trade, I would put into the category of machine. We opened with a huge gap down Through the day we rallied and we rallied and we rallied and closed at the upper end of the range. So there are two ways machine trading can happen. You can gap down and then the market starts to fail, or like it happened on Monday last, you gap up like here, you gapped up and then the market failed and closed on the other end. Okay, so these are the two styles of mean reversion trade. Okay, so as you can see, you formed a congestion and then you broke down from a congestion. Now, this is the big large bar which tends to happen, which gives you the message that maybe machines are coming in. So these are two variations of machine trading. I will tell you the others also. Okay. And out here, which is yesterday, this was the big green bar which told you that the machine has started. Machine means after that no support resistance is relevant and you are looking to close at the end of the day. Similarly, 11th of June was another machine day. This one. You opened, you rallied a little bit, and then you started to break yesterday's low or yesterday's high. So these two or three large bars told you that the machine was getting started. What you do is you put a stop at the high point of the day and then ride it all the way down. Or if you are going up, just put a stop at the top end of the range and just watch it go up. So whenever you are near the 200, you will often have the price getting taken away from the 200. Whenever you are away from 200, the price will start to move towards the 200. So these are the two variations. And at the open, you know what to expect. Basically, you mark the high and low of the previous day. Okay. So here, you take a horizontal line and we have marked previous day high and low. And as the previous day low starts to get broken, you assume that the machine has started. And the price gets driven lower and lower and lower. Does it fail? Everything does. But what is the idea? The idea is that you are basically expecting a follow through market the moment the market starts to trade below the yesterday's range. Like here on 8th of June, if you mark the high and low of this day, okay, the market first on the 9th of June tested the low, then it tested the high, and here the machine had started. Once we broke below yesterday low, the machine had started. Now, why you would miss this decline? Because this was a wide range day, and with practice, if you are able to identify these rectangles, these congestion zones, you will be able to better your trade entries. What is the plan? That at some point you are able to take these trades which go to the other side. Somebody could have said, this is also a machine trade. So the prices are moving from one congestion to another congestion. Okay. So this is the broad idea. You wait for a congestion to form and then you see which side is that congestion breaking out. What is the problem? That people are in a hurry to take trades and they don't let the market set up. Let me show you other forms of congestion. When we were going up, this was the trending phase of the market. Again, you have a congestion, and because you are in a trending phase, you would expect it to move up. So again, once we have broken above the previous day high, we should expect the market to move up and machines to come in. Okay. So that is the broad point of the machine. Once we break the previous days high, the machine comes in. All you have to do is recognize the phase of the market. Are we in a trending market or are we in a mean reversion market? Okay. You can see here we went down and then as we broke out above previous day high, the machine took over. So basically, you have to recognize where is the congestion and which side is it likely to work. Most of the time, at a 50-point risk, you should be able to make 100, 150, 200. If you work according to that, there should not be any problem. Now, how can you make this better? If the previous day is a narrow range day, the odds of the machine coming on are very high. Number two, if the current day's open is near previous day high, or previous day low, then you should be aware of that side, because that is where the market will more easily get out of the range. Not necessary, but that is generally the case. These are things where you have to think like the computer. You have to think like the machine. If you get all your analysis into the question, if you are trying to watch support and resistance, then you are finished. There are some days which are machine days. There are other days which are choppy days. So the job here is to identify the machine days and just deal with the machine days. If you can't deal with that, then there is a problem. The whole idea is risk reward 1:3, 1:4. Okay. So machine days are those one-sided days where early in the morning you break through the lows or the highs of previous day, and then you take it from there, or you trade up to previous day high or previous day low and start to make a congestion that you are not able to move forward. And those are days where you expect action on the other side. I just showed you two examples of that. Okay. Now on the Nifty for Monday, what is the plan? We all know that we are not really following our tunes, we are following global tunes. Now this is a very, very massive bar. Okay. Now, if the Dow, etc., would have closed better than they have today, I would have thought that you will get great amount of follow through. And if Dow futures they turn by Monday morning, maybe we'll have to reconsider our opinion. But the trouble both with Dow and the Nifty is the weekly chart. While the Nifty recovered substantially and closed, I would think more than halfway of this green bar. So actually a lot of the bearishness was taken out on Friday. The Dow is not as lucky. We just have a look at that chart. So what are we going to do? On the Nifty, I think next resistance level, in my opinion, is this zone right on top. You can say 99, 50, 60 to about 10,020. And we need to cross this 10,020 for the market to move higher. If we start to reject this zone, then chances are trouble starts for the Nifty, and again we have a bit of a gap here, so that gap comes into play. Okay, so very critical that global markets should slowly build up. Let's go to the S&P chart. So this is the S&P 500 chart, Now here you can see these are support lines here, which are about 2950 to 3000, from where S&P turned on Friday. The S&P rally was not as impressive as the Nifty rally was. And this is where I have shown resistance at about 3120 to 3150. So the S&P will find resistance around these levels. Now the real trouble with the S&P starts at this weekly chart. Look at this massive candle which has taken out almost 2 weeks of price action on the left. So maybe I think a scenario is on the table that the S&P has a bit of sideways and from here starts to come off. Okay, so that according to me will be some sort of a problem, because if we come down this way, this scenario is on the table. If this happens, then even on the Nifty, there could be a bit of trouble, because this could also go up here and then start to come down. From a money management view, for me, what's important is what happens to my positions. So if this zone starts to get rejected, broadly, if we cannot sustain above 10,000, then the game is over for the moment, because that would mean that the market even here is starting out a larger correction. I am not predicting. I don't want to predict. I cannot predict. All I am saying is what I am watching for on Monday. 3120, 3150 on S&P 500, and this 9950, 10,000 zone on the Indian Nifty. That is the reason I carried my positions on Friday, because they were way into the money. Okay. That should conclude this video. I hope you understood what I mean by good risk reward, how to think and trade like a machine, and the view on Nifty and S&P 500. Bank Nifty I am not discussing, because it is too closely linked to the Nifty. But again, if you want to get on the Bank Nifty machine, very similar to the Nifty machine, mark out high and low of yesterday. If they are reasonably close by, chances are Bank Nifty also makes congestion. So try to take the trade around the high or the low, depending on the phase of the market, and that should work out. Bank Nifty obviously has more volatility, etc. My sense would be that if you keep a 100, 150 point stop on Bank Nifty, 50 to 75 point stop on the Nifty, the machine trade can work And what I would also advise on the machine trade is that don't try to buy or sell the first breakout. Wait for the breakout to come back, retest, and again break on the downside. The second breakout is often the better one. So that you can keep in mind. So swing trading wise, you should be buying extremes, buying weakness or buying strength, uh, buying weakness and selling when markets are strong. But intraday, you should sell weakness and try to buy into strength. That is the broad idea. Obviously, each trade and each day is different, but clearly the first issue is find the phase, range bound or trending. In a ranging phase, the congestions will try to bring you back towards the equilibrium. In a trending phase, the congestions will move away from the or break out away from the equilibrium. Equilibrium broadly is the pivot point, or it is the 200 period average on any time frame. So that should be taken as the equilibrium zone of the market. The market always returns back to equilibrium. That is the tendency of a market. So I hope everybody learned something new. That should be it. Take care, trade well, and please consult your financial advisor.